which says that the cost of living subsidy removal pressure turns on 250 billion naira out gas fund. That's what the business day has, and that's what we're starting with. Cost of living subsidy removal pressure turns on 250 billion naira auto gas fund. Okay, and then let's go to the Punch newspaper. Subsidy pain, Labour talks tough, and ASUU protesters condemned relief plans. Okay, subsidy pain, Labour talks tough, ASUU protesters condemn relief plans, and the SANU ASUU say fuel subsidy unintelligently removed. NLC meets today. Okay, you feel this on the front page of the Punch newspaper. And then let's go there from there to Daily Sun. Protest rocks Benin City over fuel price. Protest rocks Benin City over fuel price. And demonstrators say Tinubu government choking Nigerians to death. The president, APC didn't promise overnight solution. Adams Oshomole is quoted as saying that. That's Daily Sun. From there, let's go to Daily Times. Okay, Daily Times newspaper. Nigerians living on keg of gunpowder. Obasanjo knocks Tinubu's economic policies. That's what you see on the front page of the Daily Times. And from there, let's go to Nigeria News Direct. Gas flaring is the focus here. Federation account shortchanged $277 million. As the Revenue Mobilization Allocation Fiscal Commission is saying this. All right, Federation account shortchanged $277 million. Reps to investigate 19 oil companies, summon CEOs. Lawmakers vow to recover over $9 billion fines from oil companies. An expert calls for legislative backing for adoption of oil tracker. All right. You find all this on the front page of Nigeria News Direct. Ibrahim?
Yes, the first newspaper that I have here is Business AM. The screaming headline reads, IMF expert sees lifeline for CBN's e-Naira in mobile money. IMF expert sees lifeline for CBN's e-Naira in mobile money. Blueprint is next. The kicker reads, INEC on 2023 polls. And the headline, voter accreditation successful, admits glitch in uploading presidential results. Voter accreditation successful, admits glitch in uploading presidential results. That's according to INEC in the review of the 2023 elections. Leadership newspaper is next. National Assembly furore as Lagos reps pick 4 juicy committee chairs. Furore as Lagos reps pick 4 juicy committee chairs. That's according to the Leadership newspaper. The Guardian newspaper is next. Made in Nigeria smartphones fumble as monthly importation hits 50 billion naira. Made in Nigeria smartphones fumble as monthly importation hits 50 billion naira. That's the Guardian newspaper. Next is This Nigeria. For the 3% of Nigerian children actively engaged in child labor, that's the federal government saying that. And last but not the least is the Daily Trust. Road crashes for 1,387 killed in 6 months. FCT, Ogun, Nasarawa top charts. And then the last rider reads, figures rise in second quarter. Road crashes for 1,387 killed in 6 months. That's a whole lot, happening in this country, according to this report.
Well, I think a whole lot is happening around the world, I must say.
Absolutely.
Because every country has got its own issues. Some issues cut across countries, and so on. Yeah. Okay, let's look at the story on the front page of the Daily Sun. It talks about protest rocks Benin City over fuel price. Okay, the Nigerians are reacting to some of these issues, fallout from the removal of fuel subsidy. Correct. Now, the point there is there has been attempts at different times by various presidents or various administrations to remove a fuel subsidy. We saw all of the reaction from Nigerians. Recall in 2012, when former President Goodluck Jonathan, in January, removed the fuel subsidy. But you saw the reaction of Nigerians.
It was massive.
And then former President Buhari, tinkered with it at the time, but it was neither here or there. But the point there is, Nigerians kept saying that subsidy has to go. We can't continue. It's not sustainable.
Absolutely.
Because it was the argument was that just a few persons were getting the benefit of this fund,
Right.
and as it is, we can't keep sustaining a situation where monies are paid to a few persons, to bring in some of these things. We saw all of the issue, the alleged corruption within that racket or within that business, as the case may be. In fact, it was said at the time that some persons imported water and got claims for subsidy. So the point there is, and recall like the last campaign, all the presidential candidates, except Rabi Musa Kwankwaso of the NNPP, outrightly came out to say that we need to remove, in fact, I'll remove oil subsidy on the first day. All of them, said they were going to remove fuel subsidy.
Absolutely.
The APC, Tinubu of the APC said fuel subsidy has to go. Atiku of the PDP said fuel subsidy had to go.
Labour Party,
Peter Obi of the Labour Party said subsidy had to go. It was only Rabi Musa Kwankwaso who said, well, we will look at it, we will negotiate, we'll look at the best ways out, as the case may be. But on the first day of inauguration, one of the statements that made headlines strongly, that Nigerians applauded that day, was the issue of
fuel subsidy
is gone. It wasn't even it was going to go. It was the issue of the fuel subsidy is gone.
Because it was already gone.
It was gone.
It was gone.
And Nigerians were happy. About few weeks after, we saw how smuggling ceased almost immediately. Only it was reduced drastically. Smuggling to nearby countries of oil, petroleum,
and other countries were protesting
and all of
on our
that.
behalf.
Nigerians were happy, as the case may be.
Right.
But the point there is, these things are certainly going to take time. There are going to be effects, there are going to be impacts, but the point there is, it seems Nigerians, because of what they feel, may not be patient enough.
Absolutely. It's just one thing. We want something, but then we are not ready to see that thing through. The former Emir of Kano and the former CBN Governor, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, said that whoever tells you among the presidential candidates that it's going to be easy, it's going to be an easy ride, then that person is not telling the truth, and you should not vote for the person. And the incumbent president, incumbent administration has already said that, well, maybe not intended, that whether you like it or not, first subsidy will be removed. And that is exactly what it confirmed. Not that it came and it removed the subsidy, because that is the narrative they are trying to sell. Even if he had removed that subsidy, it means that what he said, he's a man of his word. And we also agreed that it has to be removed. And then now that it has been removed, we understand the fact that there's a lot of things happening at the moment. The fact that, removal of fuel subsidy has also affected the prices of goods and services, prices of commodities. If you want to move from one, a lot of people are now trekking, good for the health, but then is that what we really want at the moment? Because I know I do a lot of trekking now, and I enjoy it. It makes me sleep better. But we need to also see the way it affects the poorest of the poor. That's why some of the protesters in Benin City yesterday were saying that 8,000 naira, it's just nothing, and take it back. We don't want it, even though the federal government had already listened and said we are going to do a review of what it is. So, we also know that I don't want to use the word so-called, leaders of Nigeria, the past leaders, they're not actually speaking to the issue. They're politicizing a lot of things. We've heard the cliche, Nigeria is sitting on a keg of gunpowder. It has never exploded, and we didn't pray that it should explode. We saw a bit of an explosion in 2020 of the NSAS, and we don't want that to happen. So I feel what they should be talking about now is how we should navigate this. The NNPC had already said that the president will fix one of the refineries, will get working towards the end of 2023. And I think that's what they should focus on. Because if they say we don't have enough fund, we don't have sufficient fund, then there will be no way our refineries won't have enough to fix our refineries. The vice president is Kashim Shettima, is there in the UN,
He's currently in Rome.
Yeah.
And will be in St. Petersburg in Russia later on in the week.
Absolutely. So he told them, he said, we have removed the fuel subsidy. We don't want, the pecs that you give us. We don't want that. We are not coming to you with begging bowls again. Come and invest. Now Nigeria is having a viral economy. I mean, we are building a viral economy, which is also commended. The removal of first subsidy is commended by, serious economists, not politicians who stands under the guise of being economists, saying that this is the right step. And it's not going to be smooth. It's not going to be easy. Fine, you are applying anesthesia after the surgery. After the surgery, it's supposed to come before the surgery. We understand. It's just some of the things that they met on the ground, trying to, resolve all of these issues. But then we understand that a lot of people are going through, rough times. Even we are feeling it. You can't just drive into fuel station and say you want to buy full time.
That every Nigerian needs help at this time.
Absolutely.
Every Nigerian, even the richest man in Africa, needs help at one point or the other, somehow, as it is. Now, the point there is, it's not necessarily about come and take monies, handouts and all of that. But the point there is that in all of the policies, and that's what government is looking at.
Yeah.
Maybe Nigerians didn't understand fully the implication of removing fuel subsidy. Because the reality is that there are going to be impacts of it. Now, the issue of palliatives, good. That's another area as to what should be the right palliatives. Now, the issue of conditional cash transfers to Nigerians and all of that, the government has said, well, come, let's review this thing. What's 8,000? Now, for some people, like if you listen to the governor of Nasarawa State say that 8,000 means a lot to some families. Of course, we agree. 8,000 might mean a lot to some families, but there are so many other families that 8,000 is like, what are you talking about? As a case, especially when you're talking about father, mother, children, 2 persons. Let's say we even go out just to have lunch. Your plate of whatever alone will be more than 8,000.
That is if you're not going to be made to wash the plate at the end of the day.
No, but the reality is the palliatives that Nigerians expect, they want them right now. Because as it is, there's also the advice of the fact that all our fuel-powered or petrol-powered vehicles, go change them to compressed natural gas, the CNG, so that you can reduce the cost of your, transportation for those of you who have cars and have vehicles. Now, they have said that buses will be provided, injected into the system, so that you can also, reduce the cost of transportation here and there. So these are all the things. NLC, on the other hand, is also pushing to say, minimum wage, fix it, 200,000. Let us see how we can negotiate that. Of course, there's going to be the issue of the capacity or ability to pay 200,000. Recall that some states are still struggling with paying 30,000 naira right now.
They're not serious, really. They're not actually serious.
Well, the point is,
I feel it's my opinion.
But that's
no, talking about the states, not even the federal government.
No, I understand. But that's the reality.
Yeah.
Now, the issue of states, the capacity of some states not to be able to pay 30,000.
Yeah.
Recall that as at now, some of the governors that just came in discovered almost about 2,000 ghost workers in their states.
Yes.
They're trying to look at the papers, and all of that to remove some of those ghost workers within the system, putting a heavy burden on the states. Now, the issue of, recall that some states also have been having security challenges where there hasn't been business the way it's supposed to go. Of course, I'm not giving any excuses for them because governments are supposed to come up with creative ideas, to make monies and so on. But now that we understand this month, the monies that is going to be shared for amongst the FAC for all states, is almost 1 trillion naira. That's about 900 and something, which goes a long way to say, okay, there'll be more money now in the hands of states to do different things.
Yeah.
So these are the things Nigerians are expecting so that they can begin to feel the impact of what government is doing and what they want to do.
Yes, so I really can't remember the name of the person who addressed the protesters yesterday in Benin City. You know, he said that it is not caused by Edo State government. But then, is it about pushing blames or apportioning blames? You're trying to say, oh, it is the federal government's decision that actually caused this. But I don't think that's what they should do. We see Borno State governor, you know, putting palliatives in place, ensuring
Babagana Zulum.
Babagana Zulum, you know, fantastic, you know, governor. We see what Lagos is also trying to do. We see what other states are doing, buying buses.
And we saw what River State under Governor Wike was also doing.
Absolutely. So it's all about you as the governor. What are you also doing? It's not about apportioning blames. It's all about, it's because we have a lot of mistakes in this country. When we talk about budgets, we only analyze the federal government's budget. We don't really analyze our own budget. We don't analyze what is the state government budget and break it down to brass tacks and say, okay, how does it benefit the masses? Everything is all about the federal government. But what are you also doing innovatively as the state governors?
Well, these are very strong, cogent questions there that's meant to send, you know, trying to turn the tables and ensure that the governors, and I believe the new governors coming on board, a lot of them are young, and a lot of them, we look forward to them expressing their creativity to do something differently.
Absolutely.
All right, we have to leave that here now.